what? It looks like rain. Oh, hi there! I was channeling my inner Christopher Robin and saying it might look like rain. I don't know if it does, though. However, that's what we're going to talk about today at Storytime. It's all about rain and storms and rainbows. Would you like to come join us? Remember, our big word for the month is climate. Let's go and read some books. Hello, and welcome once again to Storytime. I, as always, am Miss Hannah, and this is our special Storytime. Remember, our big word of the month is climate, which means the weather all over the world. Now, last time we talked about the 4 seasons, and that there's spring, summer, autumn, and winter. This week, we're going to talk about some weather, because there's so much weather that goes along with being in different climates. Now, our first book is called It's Raining, and this is by Gail Gibbons. Gail Gibbons writes a lot of books that are non-fiction, which means the facts in here are true. So let's read this by Gail Gibbons. Dark clouds fill the sky. Some people put on boots and put on raincoats and hats. Others pop open umbrellas. It's raining. Rain is water falling from clouds. Water is necessary for plant life and animal life to survive on Earth. Here's the water cycle. When the sun shines and warms the air, water vapor rises into the sky. This is called evaporation. Here it is going up. As the water vapor moves up higher in the sky, the air becomes cooler and cooler. Water vapor soon turns into millions of water droplets. This is called condensation. They all gather together. See, they get bigger and bigger. The droplets get bigger and bigger. Clouds will form when enough droplets come together. As the droplets join together, they become heavy enough to fall down toward the earth. This is rain. They're forming together, and then they get heavy and fall. There are different types of rain. There's stratus rain clouds. Stratus clouds produce drizzle or light rain and are low in the sky. They spread out across the entire sky. Nimbus rain clouds are dark and bring steady, heavy rain. When the clouds look dark to us, it's because there are so many water droplets in the clouds that the rays of the sun can't shine through. Cumulus rain clouds, stratocumulus clouds, and altocumulus clouds are clouds that produce drizzle or light rain. They are patchy and puffy and low in the sky. Cumulonimbus clouds are dark, heavy, and piled high in the sky. These large clouds bring lots of rain. Look how dark and puffy they are. These are the ones we usually have lots of rain with. This is where it rains in North America. This is the amount of rain. The amount of rain during the year varies from places to place in North America. See, some places get lots of rain. Some places don't get very much at all. Look up in Canada. I live right here in the middle. So I get somewhere between 10 to 20 inches of rain per year. Rain helps determine what kind of plant life in all regions of the world. It helps create the level of water in streams, lakes, and oceans. Look at all the different places around the world. There are some places like the Sahara Desert in Africa where it doesn't rain. And there's some places like South America where the rainforests are that get lots and lots of rain. And then there's Antarctica where it hardly ever rains at all. Rains from clouds fall in different ways. We have drizzle. When it's very small raindrops falling lightly, people say it's drizzle. Some people around here say it's spittin'. It's one of my favorites, spittin'. A shower occurs when the raindrops are larger than a drizzle. A shower lasts for a short amount of time. So let's go for a short amount of time. Rain occurs when raindrops are large and comes down steadily. So it's a steady rainfall for a while. A rainstorm is when there are gusty winds and rain comes down for a long, long time. A thunderstorm. During a thunderstorm, it gets dark and windy. Raindrops come down hard and fast. Thunderstorms can be dangerous. There is thunder and lightning. Where I live, we get thunderstorms quite a bit because I live in the middle of the United States in Kansas. So that's where there's a lot of thunderstorms. A flash flood is something dangerous too. Sometimes meteorologists warn people of an approaching storm and possibility of flooding. A flood can be dangerous. Floodwaters can rise quickly. People that live near streams, rivers, lakes are sometimes advised by meteorologists to evacuate. That means leave. After a major rainstorm or flash flood has passed, there's often damage. Homes and buildings may need repairs. Sometimes there's trees down, or there's sometimes where roofs get knocked off, or there's just a lot of things that can happen with a big rainstorm. When strong pollutants in the air come down in the rain, it's called acid rain. Acid rain can cause damage to trees, crops, and all living things. That's one of the more dangerous things when there's bad stuff in the air and it gets mixed in our water. That's really dangerous. Without clean water, plants and crops may die. People and animals suffer too. Many people are looking for new forms of energy called hydropower. Hydro means water. Wind power and solar power. Solar means sun. So we've got hydropower by water, wind power created by the wind, and solar power created by the sun. These help cut back on pollution. Sometimes while it's raining or just after it rains, there is a rainbow. How to stay dry when it rains. We have special equipment to stay dry when it rains. We got some rain boots and rain hats and umbrellas. When there's a thunderstorm, you should stay inside and keep your radio on or TV on so you can hear how bad it is and if you need to do anything safe. When there's a thunderstorm or a flood, sometimes it's a tornado with that, and you have to be ready and stay inside and have food and water and stay away from doors and windows. These are important things to have in some bad weather. And here is a fun fact. Let me see if I can find my favorite fun fact. Here it is. In a certain part in South America, in Lorombo, Colombia, I'm sure I'm pronouncing that wrong, there's an average of 524 inches of rain a year. That's a lot of rain. That's so much. And in Arica, Chile, there's an average of 0.03 inches of rain every year. Do you realize how little that is? That's about that big. That's how much rain they get a year. That's so cool, isn't it? There's so much to learn about rain. I think we need to go sing a song, but not about rain. Maybe about sun. Let's sing a song about the sun, because the sun is what's behind all of our weather systems. Ready? You are my sunshine, bright yellow sunshine. You bring me sunlight all through the days. You help the seasons go. You make the plants grow. Please be my sunshine always. Let's do it again. You are my sunshine, bright yellow sunshine. You bring me sunlight all through the days. You help the seasons go. You make the plants grow. Please be my sunshine all day. Always. Oh, silly Miss Hannah. Let's go read another story. This time about some major weather. Welcome back to the big comfy chair. Now, where I live and most of the United States, there are some major weather that comes through. And I've got some books about them. Are you ready to read them? Now, where I live in Kansas, we have big old ones called tornadoes. Now, tornadoes happen with thunderstorms, and we're going to read a whole book about them. This is Tornadoes by Gail Gibbons, once again, both written and illustrated by her. So let's read about tornadoes. It's raining hard. The winds are strong. The sky is dark. Suddenly, a twisting column of moist air reaches down from a cloud and touches the ground. It makes a loud, roaring sound. It is a tornado. Tornadoes begin inside storm clouds called cumulonimbus. If you remember from our last book, we read about cumulonimbus clouds, which are made up of warm, moist air. These large, dark clouds can grow tall and enormous. There's lightning, thunder, rain, hail, and high winds. Look at how big and dark they are. When warm, humid air rises from the ground toward the dark cumulonimbus thunderhead, it creates an updraft that pulls warm, humid air with it. The air rises where the temperature is cooler. Condensation occurs, creating rain or hail. The cool air falls back to the earth, creating a downdraft. So it goes up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. The updraft and the downdraft come together and start to spin. A funnel-shaped cloud forms inside the thunderhead, and sometimes it tilts into a funnel that reaches down toward the ground. So it goes up, down, and then it starts to meet and spin. As the funnel cloud spins faster and faster, it sucks up more warm air and becomes bigger and louder and more powerful. If it touches the ground, a tornado is born. So if it starts to spin, and if it spins and touches the ground, that's when a tornado happens. In 1971, T. Theodore Fujita, that guy right there, developed Fujita tornado scale, rating tornadoes on a scale from F0 to F5. The F is for Fujita, that guy. Since then, the scale has been enhanced, setting stricter standards for measuring storms. Starting February 1st, 2007, the enhanced Fujita tornado scale has been used to classify tornadoes from EF0 to EF5. One of the reasons it changed is because a tornado near where I live in Greensburg. It flattened the entire town. Classifications are mostly based on the amount and type of damage caused. There is no way yet to directly measure winds in every tornado. Wind speeds are estimated only and are based on the severity of damage. No matter how big or how little a tornado is or how long it lasts on the ground, it's likely to cause damage. Here is the EF scale. EF0 tornadoes may have wind speeds to between 65 miles per hour and 85 miles per hour. They can damage chimneys, break limbs off trees, and blow over shallow-rooted trees. It's damage, but it's not much. The EF1 tornadoes may have wind speeds between 86 miles per hour and 110 miles per hour. They can peel surfaces off of roofs and overturn small trucks and mobile homes. Even small tornadoes can cause big damage. EF2 tornadoes may have wind speeds 111 miles per hour and between 111 miles per hour and 136 miles per hour. They could tear whole roofs off frame houses, demolish mobile homes, and snap or uproot large trees. We're only in 2. We go up to 5. Goodness. EF3 tornadoes may have wind speeds between 137 miles per hour and 166 miles per hour. They can uproot a forest and lift heavy cars off the ground. Look at the damage that they can cause. EF4 tornadoes may have wind speeds between 167 miles per hour and 200 miles per hour. They can demolish well-constructed houses, leaving a few walls standing. Other structures may be blown off foundations and moved some distances. EF5 tornadoes are the most violent tornadoes. They may have wind speeds of 201 miles per hour and more. Well-constructed houses are lifted from foundations and carried away and totally destroyed. Trains have been lifted off their tracks. The devastation is so extreme it's hard to believe. There are 2 regions in the United States that experience tornadoes frequency. One region is the middle section of the country where most of the violent tornadoes occur. It's often called Tornado Alley, and most of its tornadoes occur during April, May, and June. Right here is called Tornado Alley. I live right in the middle of Kansas. So I am right in the middle of Tornado Alley. The other state is Florida. Why do you think Florida gets tornadoes? It's nowhere near the middle. It's on the side. Where most of the tornadoes occur in January, February, March. Most of the tornadoes are connected with another system called hurricanes, which we're going to read about here in a minute. The United States has about 1,200 tornadoes a year, more than any other country. On May 3rd, 1999, 96 tornadoes ravaged through parts of Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, and South Dakota. The EF scale had been in effect when tornadoes occurred, and some of the most destructive ones may have been classified as an EF5. The damage to Oklahoma City alone was valued at more than $1 billion. I can remember when those tornadoes came through in 1999. It was scary. On the afternoon of March 18, 1925, a record-breaking tornado devastated parts of Missouri, Illinois, and Indiana. It is called the Great Tri-State Tornado. I wasn't part of that one. But look how big that one went. That's 3 states. An estimated 695 people died. It's believed that 606 people died in Illinois alone. The tornado was on the ground for 3 hours, which is really long for a tornado, and 21 minutes, and traveled 217 miles. If the EF scale would have been in effect at this time, the tornado may have been classified as an EF5. We didn't have it then, but it probably was a really bad one. Meteorologists are on constant watch to predict and warn people of dangerous storms that may produce tornadoes. They study computer data and radar screens. The National Weather Service reports to television and radio stations if they see a possibility of tornado forming. This information is broadcasted every 15 minutes to give people some time to prepare. What should you do if you have a tornado? You should go to your basement. If you don't have a basement, go to your interior closet or bathroom far from any outside walls. Keep your head down, stay away from windows. Try to cover yourself with a blanket so you don't get hit by debris. If you can, crouch under a set of stairs. If you're outside, go lay in The low spot is a ditch and lie flat and cover your head. After the tornado, be careful because there can be stuff on the ground. Try to have an adult help you. It can be scary to go through a tornado. I've been through a few and it can be scary. Oh, here is some fun facts about a tornado. You ready? Let's see. Tornadoes have occurred in all 50 states. Here's another one. In the northern hemisphere, a tornado goes one way. In the southern hemisphere, the tornado goes a different way. Isn't that fun? Those are fun facts about tornadoes. Now, I have a special science experiment that we're going to do with a tornado. Do you want to come watch? Let's go do it. Welcome to the experiment zone, otherwise known as my dining room table. Today we're going to be making a tornado in a bottle. It's really cool. Now, the most important thing that you need before we do anything else is you need your adult to help you. With any science experiment, you need your adult to help you. Here are the things that you will need. And this is what it looks like all put together. Now, we got to see if it'll work. Ready? We flip it and we spin it. We got to do it fast. Here we go. Did you see it? I think we should do it again. Ready? Here we go. Isn't that cool? And that's how you can make your very own tornado at home. Now let's go back and read another story. Okay, wasn't that an interesting science experiment? I love science. It's my favorite subject. And now we got to see how tornadoes spin, and you can make your own one at home. That's always fun when you can make something like this at home. Now I have one more story for us to read. It's about another extreme weather. This one is called Hurricanes. Hurricanes. This is also written and illustrated by Gail Gibbons. And it's about another extreme weather. This one I haven't experienced, but we're going to read all about it. Let's do it. The winds are howling. The rain is pouring down. Violent waves are crashing onto the shore. A dangerous spinning storm has formed over tropical waters. It is a hurricane. All hurricanes form over tropical waters. Warm water evaporates and rises into the atmosphere. The warm, moist air spins upward, causing a draft that sucks up more moisture. If the water temperature is more than 81 degrees Fahrenheit or 27.2 degrees Celsius, the cycle continues and the winds get stronger. As the moist air rises, cumulonimbus clouds are formed. That's a cumulonimbus. This is the third time we've heard about cumulonimbus clouds. Those are some dangerous clouds. The rising air creates even more of an updraft. Oh, we heard about updrafts with our tornado book. Even more moisture rises, creating larger cumulonimbus clouds that hold even more water. The spinning in the air accelerates. Even larger groups of cumulonimbus clouds continue to build up. Condensation causes rains. When the speed of the wind reaches 74 miles per hour, the storm is classified as a hurricane. Most hurricanes are about 100 miles to 300 miles wide. That's so big. That's as big as some states. The center of the hurricane is called the eye, which is clear and calm. It may be 10 to 20 miles wide. The strongest winds of the hurricane are closest to the eye. This is called the eye wall. So we've got the eye in the very center where it's calm, but on either side of it is the eye wall where there's the strongest rain and wind. Most hurricanes form over the Atlantic Ocean, north of the equator. They usually last about a week and travel on a course that is very difficult to predict. We know that they come somewhere this way, but we never know exactly how they're going to go. Most hurricanes have devastated cities and towns with strong winds. Usually there are heavy rains. Sometimes there are hail. Storm surges cause the greatest damage. They are huge walls of water forced up out of the sea, devastating everything in their path and occasionally altering the shoreline itself. It can change the shape of the beach. In 1972, Herbert Saffir and Robert Simpson developed the Saffir-Simpson hurricane scale. This scale ranks hurricanes in categories of 1 to 5, just like the F scale. We have very similar scales when we do that. It has permitted meteorologists at the National Hurricane Center to predict the likely impact of the approaching hurricane. This is a Category 1 hurricane. Have wind speeds of 75 miles per hour and 95 miles per hour. There may be storm surges up to 5 feet. There are some damage to trees and small buildings. Not very different. It's about the same as a tornado. Similar. They're very similar. Category 2 have wind speeds between 96 miles per hour and 110 miles per hour. There may be storm surges of up to 8 feet. Coastal roads flood and there's moderate damage. Category 3 hurricanes have wind speeds between 111 miles per hour and 130 miles per hour. There may be storm surge of up to 12 feet. Trees are uprooted. Large cars and trucks can be swept away. There's extensive damage to buildings and boats. It's starting to get dangerous. Just like with the tornadoes, the bigger the scale, the bigger the damage. Category 4 hurricanes have wind speeds between 131 miles per hour and 155 miles per hour. There may be storm surge of up to 18 feet. The damage is devastating. Buildings suffer extreme damage. Roads and bridges are washed away. Boats are tossed about like toys. Category 5 hurricanes have winds greater than 155 miles per hour. Winds have been recorded as high as 318 miles per hour. Storm surges may be greater than 18 feet. There is massive flooding and destruction. The hurricane that hit New Orleans many years ago, before most of you were born, was at least a Category 5, if not bigger. Hurricanes come to shore. Most hurricanes do their damage in the Caribbean, along with the Gulf and the southwest coast of the United States. Right here's the Caribbean, and this is the Gulf Coast. Most hurricanes are Category 1 or 2. Category 5 hurricanes are rare and have reached land on average of once every 5 years. But when they do, they are devastating. Here are some major hurricanes throughout history. Galveston, September 8th, 1900. In 1900, the biggest city in Texas was Galveston. On September 8th, a huge hurricane struck. The storm surge was 20 feet. That's higher than most houses. It was totally destroyed the city, killing about 12,000 people. Some scientists later classified it as a Category 5 hurricane. Here's Hurricane Andrew on August 24th, 1992. After crossing the Bahamas, Hurricane Andrew hit Florida, south of Miami, with winds up to 195 miles per hour. At that time, it was the costliest hurricane in United States history. Most of the damage was done with fierce winds. Originally, it was classified as a Category 4. It was reclassified as a Category 5. This is Hurricane Katrina. This is the most recent one, August 2005. This is one I remember. The most damaging hurricane in the U.S. was Hurricane Katrina. It started in the Bahamas and crossed southern Florida as a Category 1. On August 29th, it made second landfall in New Orleans as a Category 5 hurricane. Storm surges resulted in the flooding of 80% of New Orleans. More than 1 million people had to evacuate, and nearly 1,800 people lost their lives. Catastrophic damage was done along the coastlines of Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. It hit right here, and it changed the coastline. Forecasting and tracking a hurricane. Meteorologists gather information about hurricanes from many sources. Satellites measure the size of hurricanes and can help tell how fast and what direction a hurricane is moving. Airplanes are flown into hurricanes by pilots known as hurricane hunters. Special instruments on the plane measure the wind speeds, temperature, air pressure, and the amount of moisture in the clouds. They can actually fly over the hurricane and see it too. All the storms detailed are gathered and fed into computers, which are pre-programmed with computer models of previous storms. This helps scientists make a computer model that predicts the size and strength of the storm and what land it may go. The predictions help determine if an area will need to be evacuated. When necessary, the National Hurricane Center, or the NHC, will issue storm watches and hurricane warnings that are made public on radio and television. The U.S. Coast Guard raises flags. See, these flags mean storm watch, and this one means hurricane warning. In 1953, weather officials started naming hurricanes after women, with the first storm of the season being a woman's name beginning with the letter A, and the second name beginning with the letter B, and so on. In 1979, men's names started to be using. The names of some of the worst storms have been retired and not to be used again. Andrew and Katrina are two of these. We'll never have another Hurricane Andrew because it's been retired, and not another Hurricane Katrina. Here are some things to do when hurricanes happen. Now, with hurricanes, there's a lot longer time period to pay attention to. You have days sometimes. With tornadoes, you have minutes. You should know your evacuation plan. Cover your windows. Get all your battery stuff to go to it. Turn off the electricity before you evacuate. Select a person outside of the hurricane area who can that you can inform. Take care of your pets. Pick up loose items in the yard so they won't be taken away by strong winds. All right, a fun fact about hurricanes. Like with tornadoes, in the north it goes one way, and below this equator it goes a different way. Did you know there's a different type of hurricane in East Asia? They're called typhoons. That's just a fun word to say. Typhoon. You can sometimes get a tornado with a hurricane. Isn't that crazy? All right, these are some major storms. Now, you don't have to be scared of these. I know they're kind of scary, but there are adults that can help you with all of this. They will keep you safe. Now, let's go and talk about the big word of the month, shall we? Let's do it. The big word of the month for this month is climate. 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 Climate means the weather all over the world. Now we're all going to do it together. Are you ready? All right, so on the count of 3, we're going to do it all together. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Climate. The weather all over the world. Let's do it again. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Climate. The weather all over the world. One more time. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Climate. The weather all over the world. Good job. Let's go and see what our craft is. Ready? The craft for this week for story time is a rainbow. Look at that pretty rainbow. I love rainbows. Now, if you are signed up with Lions Public Library, all of this supplies will be in your craft pack. What we want you to do is do all the colors of the rainbow. Now, the colors of the rainbow are red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and violet, which is also called purple. Now, you can do them nice and pretty in this order, and then Also, you could add some cotton balls like I did for clouds. I also added the sun in the corner, and I added another cloud because clouds are fun. Now, again, if you're signed up with Lions Public Library, your craft will be in your craft pack, as well as the cotton balls. Now, that's all for this week. Don't forget, our big word of the month is climate, and we will see you all next week. Have a great day. Bye.